Killian Powers here with Maritime Athletic Profiles. Here with me for pregame, Landon Kane. Thank you for taking the time with us. So first of all, second to last home game of the season. Last home game of the season is tomorrow night. What's kind of the locker room mentality going into this one towards the home stretch of the season?
You just gotta have a dogfight. Everybody gotta be doing the right thing. Help the helper, you gotta come strong because we've been losing a lot, right? So we just gotta take over now.
Absolutely. I mean, that teamwork mentality has to be there. Last month you had a highlight reel dunk that has been the talk of the town recently. What was the reaction both from your locker room with your fellow teammates as well as your classmates here at school?
I mean, the locker room already knows that I can get on the rim. I choose not to sometimes, but everything else, everybody's just saying they already know I can do it, right? It's not like exciting, but it is exciting when you're in the air, right?
Right.
Yeah. But it was tough though, because everybody was hitting me up saying, "Oh, you dunk with two hands like that for a distance?" I mean, yeah.
You kind of just like, I've been doing this kind of thing. Okay, gotcha. And I know game days, especially during school days, are a busy day for you. It's, you've got warm-ups, you've got practice, you've got a class to think about. In the middle of all that chaos, what's your go-to pregame snack?
I would say 6 inch from Subway.
Okay. What kind of meats you getting?
Chicken teriyaki, no cheese.
No cheese. Okay, all right. This is Killian Powers live here with Landon Kane pregame, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with tip-off. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, live from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia at Cole Harbour High. It is Maritime Athletic Profile Basketball Tuesday as Halifax West comes in to visit the Cole Harbour Cavaliers as we are getting set for tip-off. Killian Powers live on the call, Kaylee Hubley on the camera and stream, as we appreciate you all for tuning in, taking time on your Tuesday evening to watch some of Nova Scotia's finest here for varsity basketball as we get set for tip-off. Officials communicating. It's looking to be a competitive one as we enter the home stretch. It is the second to last home game for the Cavaliers, but the last home game that will be covered here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. It's been a pleasure to serve you all season. Some of you are more familiar with my commentator counterpart, Ethan Greenham, as he is doing the work elsewhere on assignment today. And you can tune in to the other basketball stream if you'd like to hear him. As we get the clock set and ready for tip-off. And we're underway as West wins the tip-off. As the first dish is to Jalen Bear. Jalen Bear, and they bring it to Cabergine. Cabergine. As he looks to work beyond the arc. A dish in deep. Here's Cira with a shot from beyond the arc, but that bounces off the rim and is picked up by Landon Kane. Landon Kane, for those of you who were tuned in earlier, we had a nice pregame interview as he drives and makes that bucket. Nice little finger roll layup from Kane as that offensive opportunity is thwarted by a foul.
Established his position, that would have been a charge. But he was still moving.
So Jalen Bear will shoot two after the charging infraction. First one is bounced in rather. Talking earlier in the broadcast with Landon Kane of the Cavaliers, talking about some of his highlight reel moves as he gets the rebound after the free throw miss. Dishes to Quinn as Quinn airballs a three from beyond the arc, but that will be a West inbound as Ambrose Ingram got his fingers on that one. And here comes West the other way. Logan Clark. He'll drive deep. And a nice block way up front for Sion Fennessy. Fennessy was right there all the way in front. Here's a shot from beyond the arc by Ingram. It is rebounded by Davis, and that will fall for a reach-in foul on Mardouche Cabingine. So we will get an inbound pass as Kane will throw it in. 2-1 with 8:46 remaining in our first frame. As that pass was intercepted at first, but Landon Kane will regain. He'll take a shot in front of two defenders, but that is rebounded and just to Jalen Bear, who dishes the other way. And Callum Quinn will have the bucket there. And back the other way as it was intercepted. Here's West coming the other way. And another finger roll for Callum Quinn. That's 4 points now. Landon Kane looking to even the score here. Talked a little bit more with him in the pregame as he had a nice dish and a nice drive there by Fennessy, who picks up the layup. And driving all the way to the other end was Cabergine. Little pressure there being kept on by West. Great pressure at the back end by Jalen Bear. He'll dish deep into the paint, but that one will fall out of bounds And ref signals it is Cavs ball. Despite the protest from Jalen Bear. So Landon Kane picking up at the other end. He'll look for options as he starts to drive a little deep, gets just inside the arc rather, and gets it right back. He'll fake a shot, but he'll let this one go. It is rebounded in the paint deep, a dish down low, and a kicking the ball, or a ball kick. I forget the official call or official termage on that one. My apologies. Nonetheless, Cavaliers ball. As it is dish beyond the arc, he'll drive in just a little bit, but that shot by Best will miss. And here's Landon Bear with a nice end-to-end layup to pick up his first points of the contest. Landon Kane, here he is again. He tried to drive and tried to throw a quick little pass to Callum Quinn as we will have a Cavaliers timeout. Or, my apologies, we will have a switch as Isaiah Mosher will check in. Just beyond the arc to Logan Clark. Logan Clark drives all the way down, nearly had the layup, but it is rebounded by Ingram. Ingram, he'll dish to Fennessy. Fennessy from downtown. That bounces out. Here comes Bear the other way, and another nice layup for Jaden Bear to pick up his second and third points of the evening. Well, here's Landon Kane. He's being pressured, but here's Jaden Bear down the other end. And he comes across with another layup. He's leading Halifax West in points so far. Landon Kane, he's been trying to pierce through the wall of defense against Halifax West as that layup didn't go the way he would have wanted. Here comes West the other side, and another layup. They have been pounding the paint as we will have a Cavaliers timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. Rebounded. Back here with you as we come out of the Cole Harbour timeout as they are feeling the heat early, down 13-4 with 5:39 remaining in the first quarter. Point leaders so far, Callum Quinn, who has 6 points, and Jalen Bear with 5, all off of deep paint layups. As Landon Kane, the leader of this squad, will come to the other end. And that ball is taken away by West. Dish to Crawley. Crawley to Bear. Bear with a nice move. And he will shoot 2 at the line for a charge.
They've all got that move.
As he was trying to make some moves through that wall of defense. Second set of free throws for Bear. As that one goes in. And a chance to lead the team in points so far on this one. Banks it in. That's 7 points for Jalen Bear. Here's Landon Kane again, trying to lead his team out of this hole that has been dug. On the home court nonetheless, as he's fighting through 2 defenders. And there's Jaden Bear again. That's his 3rd takeaway of this contest. And the nice dish to Logan Clark for another 2. Deep in the paint, here's Landon Kane trying to come with some speed the other way. And that pass is taken away. Back down to Bear. Oh, a nice pass as he was blocked by the rim there. Trying to hang on to it are the Cavaliers in a little bit of panic mode after that defense stayed the same level of tightness outside of the timeout, as that layup is no good. As the Cavaliers are lacking momentum and chemistry early on. And there's the dish to Crawley. Crawley's fighting through 2. A nice down low pass to Callum Quinn. That's his 7th and 8th points of the evening. Landon Kane once more. And he'll just take a shot from beyond the arc, but that one is finally good for him to pick up his first couple of points. My apologies. Those are his 4th, 5th, and 6th points, as there's another one beyond the arc from Bear. They get it back to Crawley. Crawley to Logan Clark, who will drive. That layup didn't go the way he wanted. It was rebounded but then taken away by Davis. Davis will dish to Kane, and Kane will look for options. Kane saying to get it as Xander Wasilewski decided to pass instead of shoot. Nonetheless, it ends up for a foul going the Cavaliers' way. So Callum Quinn will shoot his first 2 of the evening. Oh, my apologies. Fantasy will shoot his first 2 of the evening. First one is sunk, as the Cavaliers are trying to chip away at this lead. And that bucket will make it 19-9 with 3:22 remaining in our first quarter. A dish to Sierra. Sierra will drive down low, but it is picked up by Fennessy. And here's Dougalé. Dougalé will get it right back, as Landon Kane was trying to set the screen, was unsuccessful in doing so. And there will be another foul, and it appears Dougalé will shoot 2 at the line. Oh, my apologies. It will be an inbound pass, and checking in is Hamza Sako, who will inbound it. Referee's trying to communicate, make sure they have the clock correct. 2:55 remaining in our first quarter. And, oh, my apologies. The time has now been fixed, so it is 1 minute and a second remaining. And head coach Gab Levert communicating to his team to be aggressive on this inbound, as they're trying to protect the 10-point lead. And as we get our scoring electronics synchronized correctly here, I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in. Oh, and we are back to 2:55 remaining in our first quarter. And a little patience with us here at Maritime Athletic as we're fixing it for you on the stream. Big shout out to Kaylee Hubhley for her hard work. And we're ready to continue playing basketball as it's inbounded to Kane. Kane will try and dish down low, but it is intercepted by Oliver Mann. Jalen Baer tried the layup, or tried the little short-range shot. It was blocked by the rim. Landon Kane, just to Best. Best from way beyond the arc. He got a nice bounce there, but no dice. As it is rebounded by Crawley. Crawley all the way back down to Oliver Mann. Oliver Mann with the bucket. That's his first 2 of the evening. And here come the Cavaliers. And from way beyond the arc, wow, with coverage. And he'll shoot an extra ball there. Fennessy has been carrying this Cavaliers team through hell and high water so far early on, as that will get them into double digits. And that free throw goes straight through. And that tic-tac-toe play for Callum Quinn to pick up his 10th point of the evening. And they get it to Kane on the other end. Kane down for Fennessy. Fennessy is trying to make a couple of moves, but he initially, on the second attempt, will get that one to go. He's up to 10 points now. Team members on the sideline trying to rally the defense. Nothing doing so far, though, as Callum Quinn drives low and picks up the nice short-range shot. And taken away by West. Here's Kevin Jean with a nice takeaway and layup. He's had a lot of takeaways, but those were his first couple of points for the evening. And as West will take, not a timeout. We'll have a couple of changes as Isaiah Mosher will check back in, as well as Jalen Baer. Jalen Baer was very active his first shift, as that takeaway was taken away, and it will be a charge issued in the direction of West. So Oliver Mann will inbound it. He'll give it to Baer. Baer will look over his options. He'll get it back to Mann, who takes a nice downtown shot that bounces off. Rebound attempt will fall for a foul. So Callum Quinn, a chance to get up to 14 points here in the first quarter, 1:18 remaining. 27-15 in favor of Halifax West, as Cole Harbour will make a couple of changes. Evan Davis checking in. As the first shot falls silently through the net. And the other one is money as well. Oh, and a nice beyond the arc shot made. And that's Ambrose Ingram on that one. He was looking for that one earlier, as that attempted pass and failed to be kept in by Brandon Iyer. Or my apologies, Hamza Sacco. So here is Dougale. Dougale looking for some options as he is cornered by the sideline. He gets some help from Kane. He'll dish to Kane. Kane drives all the way through, unable to finish, and I think that's been the story so far with Landon Kane, as here comes West the other way. He's had a lot of great looks, a lot of great drives, hasn't been able to finish any of those layups. He's had a great three from beyond the arc earlier, as there's a nice mid-range shot from Cabin Jean. Here's Landon Kane with 13 seconds. He'll get it out to Ingram. There's the rebound and the bucket as Evan Davis picks up his first couple points of the afternoon. And a nice buzzer beater to end things off for a very successful quarter for Halifax West by Jalen Bear. And he will pick up his 8th and 9th point of the evening as we go to break here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. 33-20 your score from the first quarter. And back here in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia at Cole Harbour High School. Halifax West leads the Cavaliers 32-20 as we get set for our second quarter, as Braden Iyer will inbound to Dugalet. Dugalet fighting some pressure. There's been a big defensive wall for West, and it's been a struggle piercing it as you see another takeaway there by West. They dished to Oliver Mann, and Oliver Mann couldn't make anything out of it. Landon Kane all the way back down. Here's a nice layup, and it looks like that foul will come in the favor of the Cavaliers as they will shoot one. That was Evan Davis on that one, picking up his 3rd and 4th points and potentially his 5th as that one bounces in and out. So here comes West the other way. They get it to Mann. Mann down to Mosher. And here is Cabin Jean. Cabin Jean driving all the way deep. My apologies, he dished to Sacco just before that, so Sacco picks up his first couple of points. But Dugalet on the other end as that layup attempt is blocked, and here's Wasilewski. He dishes all the way beyond the arc for Brandon Iyer as that downtown attempt was thwarted by the rim. A little bit of back and forth in deep in the paint. West ends up with it as Cabin dishes to Sacco. Sacco down to Mosher. Mosher will get it to Cabin Jean. Cabin Jean back to Mosher, who shoots from the corner. Oh, and it just bounced off that external post as he gets it down low for Logan Clark, who can't finish. As that ball falls out of bounds, West almost had another offensive opportunity after a couple of unfinishes, but West will maintain possession for the time being. As they dish to Cabin Jean. Cabin Jean trying to fight off some pressure. He dishes to Mosher, who will shoot from beyond the arc. It bounces out, rebounded by the Cavs. And they get it to Iyer. Iyer fighting through a wall of defenders, and he will take the foul there as he gets a couple of handshakes from his teammates. Great job on him for taking the foul. Iyer looking for his first points of the contest. As that one falls off the right part of the bucket here. 34-22 with 7:39 remaining in our second quarter / first half. Here's the second shot. And that one is no good for Iyer. He remains pointless in this one. So here's West setting up again. They've been running a lot of tic-tac-toe plays as of recently, as there's another pass to Mosher. Mosher will dish back to Mann. Mann to Cabin Jean, who had a nice look, but it bounces out. Here come the Cavs the other way as Kane. He got it to Ingram as that one splashes in. Ingram will pick up his 4th, 5th, and 6th points of the evening, as West will take a quick timeout, and so will we here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. And Killian Powers here, back with you here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Halifax West leads the Cavaliers, the Cole Harbour Cavaliers, 34-25, with 7:11 remaining in the first half. As Armand Sierra will inbound, and he'll get it back. And there's a nice takeaway, as Ingram takes away and lays that one up. But the response by West will keep the lead the same as it was, by 11. I believe Cole Harbour needing a little bit of run here, as there's a mid-range shot by Best. Oh, my apologies, by Dougalet. Here's Jalen Bear the other way. He'll dish down low. And back out to Sierra, who takes a nice look. And the rebound and put back by Callum Quinn. He's up to 16 points on the evening now, leading his team. So the Cavaliers trying to get something cooking here. They are down by quite a large margin for halfway through the first half. And looking to battle all the way back as here's Jalen Bear battling through some pressure. Oh, a nice finger roll, and was unfortunately held up by the rim as well as the 3 defenders in the paint. As the Cavaliers will make a change. Kane will check out, and Fennessy will check in for him. Jalen Bear looking for options. He'll go down low. All the way down for Callum Quinn, who picks up another bucket. 18 now for Quinn. So here's the Cavs on the other end as Davis. Davis is just in front of the arc, and that pass nearly intercepted by Bear, and the shot is bricked all the way back down for Bear, but that will go off the hands of Fennessy. So West will maintain possession for the time being. Bear will inbound as that pass was intercepted. And here come the Cavaliers the other way, as that was a risky pass there by Dugalet. Fighting through was Fennessy, but he will be called on the foul. West regains possession. So Cabin Jean will dish to Bear. Bear will make a move or two, and a nice finger roll with a rolling bucket. He's up to double digits on his points now. As Cavaliers are really looking to get on a run, as there's a shot from downtown, and that ball will fall out of bounds. As Best was trying to spark some form of run here, as his team is down in the worst way. Cabin Jean pressured at the top of the key there, but he dishes to Sierra. Sierra back down deep, as the putback on both attempts was unsuccessful, and we have a Cavalier down. So we will have an injury timeout for the time being, as you see as Evan Davis was helped up by his teammates. And we will take a quick timeout as well here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. 42-27 West leads with 4:33 remaining in the first half. We'll be right back. And back here at Cole Harbour High, West leads the Cavaliers 42-27, 4:33 remaining in our first half, as after the big drive from Jalen Bear, we will have Callum Quinn take a couple of free throws as he makes the first one. And he will vie for his 20th point in just a moment. In a dominant lead for this first half, and that's his 20th point of the game. Callum Quinn has been on fire. Here's Landon Kane trying to lead his team to stop the bleeding here, with less than half to go as looked like Dugalet was trying to avoid the backcourt violation and just had nowhere to go with it. But it will result in a kicked ball. They'll get it back to him. Here's Landon Kane being instructed by his head coach to shoot, and good thing he did as he makes his third and fourth points of the afternoon, I'm sure, in a game where he was hoping to be a little bit more active on the scoring sheet. He's had some trouble finishing as of recent. As there's another couple for Callum Quinn. I'm starting to run out of room on my score sheet here, as he has just had a dominant first quarter. So is the rest of West. But here's as they dish to Wasilewski, and they get it down deep, but it is taken over by Quinn. Quinn tried to pass to Cabangine, but Cabangine was starting to go the other way there. So we will have a Cole Harbour rebound with just over 3.5 to go in our first half. Be on the lookout for an interview with Sion Fennessy to come in our halftime broadcast. As here is Landon Kane. He'll take a shot mid-range, but it bounces out. And here is Jaden Bear once more. Jaden Bear will make a couple of moves. Nice finger roll action again as he will gain the and one on that one. And Jalen Bear picking up his 12th and 13th, looking here for his 14th on this one. And that bounces in and out. Regained by the Cavaliers. Here's Landon Kane once more. He'll drive in deep and could not keep the ball as he ran a little bit too fast for that ball's liking. And the double dribble violation will get Cabangine. So it is inbounded back to Landon Kane. A little bit of a slower pace, trying to figure out a plot here. As the little step back from Fennessy is no good. Just down to Jalen Bear. Jalen Bear making a couple of moves but being double teamed. Here's Sierra. Sierra down low. And Callum Quinn once more. He'll pick up another two. He is on track for 30. At 24 currently for the first half. And they get it down to Mosher. Mosher with a high three. He'll pick up his own rebound. And they will dish to Dugalet. Dugalet to Kane. He gets it back. Dugalet with another high three. Being pressured there was Callum Quinn. As Cabangine will enter the zone, he'll dish to Sierra. Sierra down to Logan Clark. Logan Clark will get it in the paint, and he tried a little short-range shot. And that bounces off the backboard and rebounded by Cole Harbour. Here is Dugalet with a couple of moves, and that falls off the head and shoulders of Dugalet and out of bounds as West will get a line change here. And it looks like we will actually have a quick timeout called by West as they lead it 50-29 with 107 seconds remaining in our first half. We will be right back with you here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Killian Powers back on with you here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Halifax West leads the Cole Harbour Cavaliers 50-29 varsity basketball here in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, home of various athletic prospects. As it is dished to Cabin Jean. Cabin Jean will get it to Clark. Clark down for Bear. Bear's been very active scoring, especially in the point. He's had a great drive game as he gets it to Sierra. Sierra down for Callum Quinn. Most of his points, he leads his team in points as that one falls out of bounds. Callum Quinn leads his team in points at 24, but all of those points have come from deep inside the paint, so interesting that they dished to him beyond the arc there. As Landon Kane will come into the zone. And I believe that pass was intended for the falling Ambrose Ingram, but picked up by his teammates. Thank goodness he had them, as that ball is knocked out of bounds for a Cavaliers throw-in. As Ingram will inbound. Looks like Bear got a hand on that, and that ball will go towards the west side of things. So the frustrations continue for Cole Harbour as they are down by 21. So Cabin Jean will take it now. He hasn't been as active in the scoring, but he's been a great threat for driving, as there's a pass down low and another bucket for Callum Quinn. That is his 25th and 26th point of the game. As Landon Kane is looking for some options, he will find Dougalet, as Dougalet is fighting through a double team. And a nice couple of moves made by Fennessy as he gets a couple buckets, or a couple points rather, on that bucket. Here's Cabin Jean. He dishes down low for Logan Clark. Logan Clark can't get it to go. Here's Fennessy down the other way, making a couple of moves. Great drive by Fennessy as he will pick up his 13th and 14th of the evening. As the Cavaliers trying to go on a little run here. It'll be interesting to see how they come out of the half, as here's Bear with another attempted buzzer beater from beyond the arc. And that will do it for our first half. A dominant first half by Halifax West as they lead it 52-33 going into the half. We will be right back with you with our halftime interview. Today's interview will be Sion Fennessy. He has 14 points for the evening in the effort against West. So we'll be right back with you in just a couple of minutes here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Killian Powers here, live with Maritime Athletic Profiles, here with Kian Fennessy. Currently, you have my deepest apologies. I need to check my notes. 14 points on the first half. Not the outcome you would have expected coming into halftime, down by 19 here. So what needs to change in this second half?
We got to work harder. We got to stop them from getting wide open baskets and better help defense. We have to put more energy into it.
Got you. So you've had a lot of great looks in the paint so far. Most of your points have been in the paint, and a lot of times you've had to really drive from beyond the arc to get there. What's going through your head? Walk me through, having to realize, like, oh man, I've got, an open lane here. Let me, what's going through your head there?
Well, I'm just taking what the defense gives me because, I can shoot the ball as well, and they know that. So they have to play the outside three-point line and just taking the space they give me.
Got you. Just taking what you can get and making the most of it. Last question, ending on more of a positive note or more of a fun note. So a lot of these, especially as we get down the stretch, not only in the season but also in the school year, a lot of these days can feel very hectic. A lot of, focusing on class, focusing on practice, focusing on everything else. So in all of the chaos, what is your go-to pregame snack or meal?
Cereal.
What kind of cereal?
Depends on what we have, but Honey Nut Cheerios is always the way to go.
Okay, gotcha. This has been Kian Fennessy here with Killian Powers live on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Kian, I wish nothing but the best for y'all in the second half.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Killian Powers here, live on Maritime Athletic Profiles as we get set for our second half of our varsity boys basketball here as the Halifax West lead the Cole Harbour Cavaliers 52-33. Players to watch for the second half, Callum Quinn on the West has 26 points as that one is taken away by Bear and it will fall out of bounds. But, yeah, Callum Quinn on Halifax West, he has 26 points. He's been a big threat, specifically in the paint. And for Cole Harbour, as some of you might have tuned in for our halftime report or our halftime show, Kean Fennessy, he has 14 points. He's leading his team in points. Again, most of those coming from in the paint, as that 3 from Oliver Mann is bricked and rebounded. Oh, my apologies, that was Ambrose Ingram on that one. As here comes Sierra. Sierra was driving through. He'll dish to Quinn. Quinn drives all the way through. Couldn't finish. It'll be rebounded. And the Cavaliers will draw the foul. So first foul of the first half will be a holding foul, as it is dished and inbounded to Dugalet. Dugalet, they will get it to Kane. Kane to Ingram, who drains that one. And he will pick up his 9th and 10th points of the evening, getting to double digits there. As here's Sierra, he drove deep. He gets it to Callum Quinn. They're going beyond the arc with him again, as that one was falling up, and Callum Quinn goes down, as he's a little slow to get up. But driving all the way through from left to right was Dugalet, and he has finally picked up his first couple of points of the evening. As it looks like Callum Quinn will limp back down to the locker room here, as he needs to gather himself after he took a tumble. Medical staff will go and check on him, as Jalen Bear will take it out for West, as he has a nice clear lane to drive through. But great block there by Fennessy as they come the other way. He remains solid in the paint. They'll get it to Kane, who had a look at the corner for a moment. And Evan Davis had a nice little look there, as Jalen Bear almost ran away without the ball. He'll get it back, though. And he'll drive through the lane into the paint. That one, he couldn't get it to go. And West will be awarded the ball after it falls out of bounds. 52-38 remaining, 52-38 the score, with less than 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. As here is Dugalet once more. They dish to Fennessy. Fennessy back to Lay. Lay trying to make a couple of moves, but they get it down deep. And that's Ambrose Ingram on the and one. That's 12 points for him, as he's looking to pick up his 13th. As Cole Harbour is looking to chop and chip away at this lead, as they are now down by only 13. They entered the second half down by 19. Looking to cut it a little bit down, as Ambrose Ingram picks up his 13th point of the game. So here's Bear down the other side. Cavaliers have definitely tightened up on defense, have gotten on the same page, as we have the battle of the eights there, as Best and Lay were battling, but they get it to Bear deep in the paint, as he grinds for another bucket. Here are the Cavs the other way. Here's Dugalet. Dugalet back down for Davis. Here's Fennessy. Shot clock ticking down. They get it to Davis. Davis will drive all the way down and can't get it to go. Picks up his own rebound, but taken away by Bear. Bear will pick up some speed and drive all the way deep end to end, and couldn't get the best of that one, as they D'd up that way, and the Cavaliers will push it the other way. So Ingram dishes to his captain there, Landon Kane.
Here's Dougale trying to look for options as he only has a step to make with both hands. There's Landon Kay from the corner. Can't get it to go. It was really close, though. Here's Jalen Bear. They had a nice fast break there as he takes advantage, picking up his 16th and 17th points of the evening as Landon Kane goes end to end with that one as he gets it to go. He's at 6 points now. And there's Bear from beyond the arc. He made 1 or 2 steps to the left before shooting that one. It bounces out. Landon Kane once more. Landon Kane will make a couple of moves down low. He'll get it to Fennessy. Fennessy was fouled as he was making his way into the paint, so he will shoot 2. Oh, my apologies. It'll be inbounded by Landon Kane. Oh, it'll be inbounded by Ambrose Ingram, rather. And they keep switching out on me here as Dougale will now inbound. Just under 6 minutes to go. Still a 13-point lead for Halifax West. Cole Harbour has cut it down as they get it to Fennessy. Fennessy with a nice drive, couldn't finish though. As they get it to Cabin Jean, who will enter the zone. Cabin Jean looking for a screen. That's Logan Clark on that one, as that mid-range shot bounces out of bounds. As the Cavs will inbound, it'll be Ambrose Ingram dishing to Dougale. Dougale back to Ingram. Ingram dish to Davis. Davis to Fennessy. Fennessy from way downtown. And that one bounces out, can't get it to go. Looking to cut that lead from 13 to 10. And it is knocked out of bounds in favor of West as Armand Sierra will inbound. Just over 5 minutes remaining in our third quarter. As there's another, wow, holy cow. As Cabin Jean will pick up his 5th, 6th, and 7th points of the evening. And from beyond the arc once more is Evan Davis. He can't get it to go, so West back the other way. 16-point lead for West. As the drive is unsuccessful for Logan Clark, back the other way. And taken away, but it falls out of bounds from Evan Davis. And we will have our first timeout of the second half. Oh, no, we will not. We will have our first shift from Cole Harbour, though, as Brandon Iyer checks in for McDougal, or for Dougale. Turns out we will have a timeout. We will be right back with you here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Killian Powers, live back with you here at Maritime Athletic Profiles. The Halifax West has regained some of their lead. They're up by 16, 59-43, with 4.5 to go in our third quarter as Fennessy takes that high pass, and that layup attempt was thwarted, but the last one who touched it was Armand Sierra of the West, so Cole Harbour will have the inbound, at least for the time being, as it looks like the West it looks like Gab Levert was protesting, but nonetheless we continue, and a charging foul will stop the offense there. Oh, not my apologies. It'll be the charge going the other way. So Ingram will inbound to Fennessy, and Fennessy and Davis will pass back and forth, trying to look for options. They'll get it to Ingram, who gets that one beyond the arc to go. He's up to 16 points now, as they cut the lead back down to 13. And another beyond the arc attempt from Sierra is no good. And here's Fennessy back the other way. Fennessy driving all the way through, and he gets that one to go. And finally, something to be happy about for this third quarter for him, his first couple of points of the second half. He led his team in points in the first half, as that reach-in foul will go checked by the official. So it will be inbounded for West by Sierra, as we wait for a clock fix, and the inbound will ensue. So Cabin-Jean back down for Williams. Williams dishes down low for Callum, and Callum Quinn continues to rock as he gets that one to go. That's 28 now for Callum Quinn, as Fennessy is being D'd up by two men, and he'll shoot two on the shooting foul. Good drive and attempt there by Kean Fennessy. As we talked to him during the half, he said that they needed to tighten up on the defense as well as get things cooking with the offense when we talked to him. As he gets that first free throw to go. He also said his favorite pregame snack is a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, as he gets that second one to go, as he has 18 points on the day. Here's Cabin-Jean, back down to Sierra. Sierra gets it back to Cabin-Jean, who dishes to Sacco. Sacco with a long high pass to Cabin-Jean, who is intercepted. They keep it in, as there's Sierra. Man, great passing here from West. And there is Callum Quinn once more. And that is his 29th and 30th points. Congratulations to him, as West is absolutely running away with this one. And that ball will fall out of bounds, as Cole Harbour will maintain possession, as we get a little change for Halifax, as Oliver Mann will check in for Nathan Williams. Nathan Williams was only there for about a cup of coffee. I had to wonder what the mentality was from the coaches, as Fennessy is interfered with. He'll win the battle inside the paint, as Landon Kane, being a good teammate there, picking up. And he will get his 7th and 8th points of the evening on that one. Cavaliers still have a little bit of life in them. They're tightening up on the D. Good screen there by West. And there is Sierra from downtown. Can't get it to go, though. And Here's Landon Kane on the right side. He'll drive. He'll get it to Ambrose Ingram, who makes it splash. Boy, howdy. And that's 19 for Ambrose Ingram. As Cole Harbour looks to cut down the lead just a little more, as they have cut it down to single digits, and looks like there will be a shooting foul as Cabin Jean will go to the line for 2. So good job by Cole Harbour tightening up on the defense as well as making some things click offensively. A little bit of mishaps, but it has been a mostly positive quarter for them as Cabin Jean will get that first one to go. And he gets the second one as well, so he's up to 9 points on the day. He's done a lot of ball carrying despite the lack of points compared to his West counterparts, as Fennessy fell to the floor, but a great pass to Ingram as he has his 20th and 21st of the evening. And we are down to just an 8-point lead for West, as the foul will go the direction of Cole Harbour. Oh, nope, my apologies. It'll go the way of West. So Jalen Bear will inbound. And Callum Quinn couldn't get that one to go. He picks up his own rebound, battling more pressure as they've tightened up on the defense here for Cole Harbour. And a reach-in foul will result in an inbound. So Cole Harbour seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. They've dug all the way back from being down as much as 19 entering the second half. Here's the first shot from Ingram as he was interfered with entering their half of the court, and that one bounces out. And here's the second shot. But he's able to get that one to go as they cut the lead back down to 7. Here's Bear. Jalen Bear has been active all day, but less active in this third quarter, scoring-wise at least, as they get it down to Oliver Mann. Oliver Mann gets it to Bear. Bear with the step back, and that goes over the moon and out. And here's Fennessy going the other way. Fennessy looking to be one of the leaders in his team's comeback, as there's another step back and one. Ambrose Ingram is finding his fire. As they have cut the lead back down to 5. Chance for a 4-point play here. And he gets it to go. So if I have it correct here, 27 points for Ambrose Ingram, a majority of those coming in the third quarter. Absolute stellar performance for him on this comeback. As there's Jalen Bear, who is having some difficulty fighting through the Cavalier defense. It's picked up by Ingram. He dishes down low, but he'll be fouled, and he'll shoot a couple. And great persistence by Braden Ayer after that one. Great persistence from both him and Ingram, as Ingram had to make the pass as he fell to the floor. So Ayer trying to pick up his first points of the afternoon / evening, as he is still pointless after the first shot attempt bounced out. Here's the second. And he gets that one to go for his first point of the afternoon. 2 seconds and 1, and that will do it. So some life has been shown from Cole Harbour as they have battled all the way back from down 19 to down just 3. This is going to be quite the exciting fourth quarter. We hope you'll stick with us here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Powers back on with you here for Maritime Athletic Profiles as we get set for the fourth quarter. Kaylee Hubley on the stream and camera, as we thank her for her hard work with the replay as well. So Cavaliers have battled back from down 19 to down just 3, 65 to 62. As we enter our fourth quarter, as they get it all the way to Dougal. And then we have a tie game here. A brand new ball game has been birthed. Starting in the third quarter, as Dougal picks up his third, fourth, and fifth, and they dish down to Kevin Jean, rebounded by Bear, taken back over by Bear, as he is looking and scrambling for options, and that attempted pass was thwarted by Ingram, but it falls out of bounds, so West will maintain possession for the time being. As there's just 28 seconds, or 38 seconds gone from our fourth quarter. As we have a brand new ball game, as this was a dominant first half from West. As here's Bear with a big open lane to drive through, and West will regain the lead for the time being. Back to Dougal. Dougal will dish back to Kane. Kane's looking over options. He'll make a couple of moves, looking to drive through. Here's Dougal with a shot right in front of Bear, and another one he gets to go. Dougal starting to feel the fire here. He's at 8 points now as he entered the third quarter with just 3, as they get that one to go for Logan Clark. Here's Landon Kane. He pitches out to Dougal. Back down all the way for Ambrose Ingram, who couldn't field the pass cleanly, as we will get a small change for Cole Harbour, as Evan Davis checks in for Brandon Iyer, who, if there's a silver lining anywhere for that, he at least picked up his first point of the evening on that shift. So here's Sierra, back down for Callum Quinn. Callum Quinn was fouled on that attempt, so he will go to the line for 2. Looking to make it a 3-point game. If you had told me after the first half that this is how this game was going to go, I'm not sure I would have believed you. But Callum Quinn makes it a 2-point game, looking to make it 3. that one will fall out. So still a close game as that one is taken all the way to the bucket by Evan Davis. Great effort by him. He'll pick up his 5th and 6th. And we are all knotted at 70. And there's a big old shot from downrange. And here comes Cole Harbour the other way. Down for Ingram. He's been fire from the left side, but he couldn't get that one to fall, as Cabangene and Bear are looking to slow things down just a little bit. Back down for Sierra. Sierra to Callum Quinn. And his drive attempt is thwarted by Kane. And one thing I will give some big credits to for Cole Harbour is their defense. They have tightened up. Not so lackadaisical. Very calculated in the paint. And another block. And another foul. As Kane can't believe it. Landon Kane is trying to argue his point with his body language. So Logan and Clark will shoot 2. And you can see the emotions are running high in this one. They've battled all the way back. And that one falls out. So we are still knotted at 70. Trying to make it a 1-point lead with just under 7.5 remaining in regulation. As Logan Clark gets that one to go. That's 10 points for him now. Landon Kane battling through some high pressure. Seems like Callum Quinn is talking some trash there. As they dish to Fennessy. Fennessy battling through double pressure, and he will be called on the travel. So it will be inbounded for West via Armand Sierra, who dishes to Bear. Bear to Sierra. Sierra battling through the pressure of Ambrose Ingram, who's been on fire as of recent. Back to Sierra from downtown. Swish. And we will get a Cole Harbour timeout. So after that one, it is after we get an update, it will be a 4-point game. 74-71 in favor of West. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Here we are back at Cole Harbour High, here in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, just 20 minutes away from downtown Halifax. As we are just under 7 minutes remaining in regulation. Halifax West leading by 4. As Cole Harbour looks to get back even. And that has been the whole story of the game, as Landon Kane will go end-to-end and drive, and he'll pick up the and one. And he will look to make it back down to 1 here. Great effort by Landon Kane on that one, as he is now in the double digits for points. And he gets it to go. So down to a 1-point West lead. Bear dishes to Sierra. Sierra's last basket was his first 3 points of the evening, as that corner shot doesn't go. Here's Davis. Davis dishes to Lay. Dougal Lay will shoot the mid-range shot. Oh, and just goes in and out. So Callum Quinn dishes to Bear. Bear sees a lane and drives, and he is fouled on the way up, so he'll shoot 2. And I think that's going to be the real difference maker in this one, ladies and gentlemen, is the fouls. The last couple of plays on the west side of the ball have resulted in free throws shot, which led to the 4-point lead, which we opened back up with after the Cole Harbour timeout. So here's Bear. He's been active, both on the offensive and defensive side of things, as he adds another point to his total, which is now 20. Trying to make it a 3-point game. And he gets that one to go quite easily. 21 points for Jalen Bear, as he's had a real active game. So here's Landon Kane. Landon Kane trying to set up a screen with Davis there. Davis will stay at the top of the key as he was, oh goodness, and a great drive from Landon Kane, but he couldn't finish. And I think that's also been a consistent thing thus far, as Jalen Bear, again, great drive, couldn't finish. It is rebounded, take to Cabin Jean from beyond the arc for Callum Quinn. And you just felt that one. That was quite the drain there from Callum Quinn, as he now has 34 on the day. They dish it back to Kane. Kane down for Brandon Iyer. He'll give it back to his captain, Landon Kane. Landon Kane, oh goodness, it looked like he had a look for Ambrose Ingram, who's been hot from the left-hand side of the key. So we will have a quick change for Cole Harbour, as it looks like Fennessy will come in for Dugalet. Just under 5.5 remaining in this one. West has the 5-point lead, 78-73. Should illustrate again with my words that Cole Harbour has battled back from as much as 19 coming into the second half, as that pass is intercepted by Kane, but he has nowhere to go, as we will get a jump ball from just beyond the right side there. Landon Kane with a good interception, but it'll be inbounded by West. Here's Cabin Jean. Cabin Jean back down for Bear. Bear takes a step out. He gets it back to Cabin Jean, who will drive in. Back to Bear, and another layup is made by Bear. That's 23 for him now, as Halifax West has a 7-point lead now. And there's a 3 from center beyond the arc. Landon Kane looking to send a message with that one, as that's 13 for him now. And that ball will go out of bounds on the hands of Oliver Mann. So an opportunity to close the gap even more. Down by 4 is Cole Harbour, as that pass and shoot goes through. Brandon Ayer with his second, third, and fourth points of the game. That's got to feel good for him, who hits a 3 at a crucial time in this game where every point matters. They are only down by 1. And another takeaway thwarted by Cabin Jean, who will pass down low for Mann. Mann back to Cabin Jean. That 3 will fall out of bounds. And we look like we will have a timeout for West, as they're feeling the pressure. It looked like they were starting to run away again as they regain the lead to 7, but a couple of 3s from Kane and from Iyer will make it a 2-point game. 4:14 remaining in regulation. We will be right back with you here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. ball live here on Maritime Athletic Profiles as Landon Kane will take the inbound in this 2-point contest. He'll attempt to drive, but Jalen Bear has him locked all the way up. He'll dish there to Iyer. Iyer drives, and a big shooting foul, so he'll shoot 2 at the line. Great effort by him, great effort taking the charge, and he will not shoot 2. It will be inbounded by Ambrose Ingram, who has been on fire offensively as of recent, both in passing and in scoring. He'll dish down to Iyer, who fakes a shot, but will dish it down to Davis. Davis will drive through, and that layup can't get it to go. So Cabin-Jean will slow things down a little bit. He dishes to Sierra. Sierra looking for some options as he battles through pressure from Iyer. They get it down for Logan Clark, who can't get that short-range shot to go. And Landon Kane was interfered with on his way to the arc there, so we will have a foul on West. And it will be inbounded right at about half court for Cole Harbour, as it is dished to Brandon Iyer. Brandon Iyer will get to Davis. Davis to Kane, and we will have a whistle. And the clock did not start, so we will have another inbound. Had some consistent clock issues tonight, so it'll be interesting. Interesting to see how that impacts the flow of things. Nonetheless, we will have an inbound from Brandon Iyer here in just a second after the officials communicate on timing. And with a crucial close game like this one, it is important that you get the timing correct. So it looks like we are all set to continue play. The inbound from Brandon Iyer. He'll dish to his captain, Landon Kane. Landon Kane looking for options. He'll try and set a screen there as he drives through. Fighting through a double team. And as Kane fell to the floor, the ball fell out of bounds. Unclear if that was a foul or not. I don't think there was one called. I think Landon Kane was looking for one. But it goes out in favor of Cole Harbour, as it is just back down to Davis. Davis will drive through. Can't finish. Gets his own rebound, and a fantastic finish on the rebound. So we are back within even. We are back even with it. We are back even at 80. My apologies on that one. And that shot by Logan Clark will fall out of bounds, and Cole Harbour will get possession, looking for their first lead in quite some time. I believe first lead of the game. So Landon Kane taking his time, looking to slow things down just for the moment, as they're looking for a plot to take their first lead of the evening. And that will be a block from Logan Clark, which will result in Halifax West possession, as the official will reassure Gab Levert that she called that correctly. So here's Jalen Bear down to Sierra. Sierra to Bear. Bear will try and drive. Here's a shot from beyond the arc. Can't get it to go. Callum Quinn with the rebound, but fielding pressure from 2 defenders on the Cavaliers, and we will have an inbound/jump ball as tensions boiling over, as Callum Quinn felt his arm was being held. Maybe his arm is injured. Unclear at the moment, as Callum Quinn remains on the floor. And he looks to be in a bit of pain there. It looks like maybe a finger or an arm injury. So we'll get a quick injury timeout as head coach Gab Levert will go and check on him, make sure he's okay. And Callum Quinn will be escorted off the court for the time being. This is his second small injury timeout as he went off the court early in our game, and despite battling through all of the pain there, he still has 34 points, a team lead for this game, as there is 2:17 remaining in regulation, as we are knotted at 80 here in Cole Harbour. So the refs will make a decision here. So it looks like Gab Leverett will receive a warning for questioning the coach, as well as Gab Leverett, and looks like there will be a warning issued to Callum Quinn for some of those emotions boiling over, as he kind of threw the ball in the direction of Landon Kane as they were battling for it on the other end. And Logan Clark arguing his case with the official, as Gab Leverett is in disbelief. Again, illustrating the persistence of Cole Harbour. They were down by 19 coming into the second half, and they have battled all the way back. And then West regained a 7-point lead in the third quarter. And a timeout to Cole Harbour will be spent, it looks like. So Fennessy will shoot 2 here. Looking to take the first lead, and they do. Cole Harbour Cavaliers, nope, I apologize, he'll shoot 1. So Cole Harbour has their first lead of the evening, 81-80, with 2:17 remaining in regulation. And it looks like there will be a small timeout for Cole Harbour. As they are looking to lock in for this last 2:17. And we hope you, ladies and gentlemen, here watching us from home on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Killian Powers live on the call with you. Kaylee Hubley on the stream, replay, and camera. A woman of many talents. As looks like we will have another timeout taken by West, question mark. We'll step back and come back with you for the final 2:17 of regulation here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Killian Powers live on the call with you here. Remaining 2:15 in regulation as Cole Harbour looks to extend their first lead of the game, as that attempt by Fennessy was blocked by Logan Clark. We should note that the team leading Callum Quinn on Halifax West was given a technical and was ejected from the game following the incident. I believe it was a joint with his coach who was arguing his case for the foul. So interesting to see how that will affect things down the stretch, as there's a 3 sunken through by Cabin Jean, and he will go to double digits on that one. 12 points for him on the evening. So a 2-point lead for West as they regain the lead. Here's Landon Kane. He'll drive all the way through, and a fantastic effort as they will tie the game at 83. Landon Kane. And Bear back the other way. It falls off the backboard, but there will be a foul, and it appears Bear will shoot 2. But a fantastic drive and effort with the overhead layup from Landon Kane as he picked up his 14th and 15th on that one. Here is Jalen Bear to try and regain the West lead. And he does. So that will be 24 and maybe 25 pending this next shot. So West regains the 2-point lead with less than 90 seconds remaining in regulation. Landon Kane is taking his time, assessing his options as they are trying to set a play here in Cole Harbour. An active game full of emotions, full of stories, as Fennessy is taken away there. As here's Cabin Jean looking to set a play here. He's driving through, fielding some pressure. Here's Bear making 2 to 3 moves. But that rebound is taken by Kane. Kane looking to slow things down. Less than a minute to go here. They're down by 2. Cavaliers looking to have a comeback story at the end of the season. And that ball will stay in the hands of Cole Harbour as Landon Kane was looking for a foul there. So it'll be inbounded by Ambrose Ingram, who has had a stellar night in his own right. 27 points for him, with him going off and being an integral part of the Cavaliers' comeback in the third quarter. 42 seconds remain in regulation. Brandon Iyer. He'll get it to Landon Kane. Landon Kane, as time ticks down on the shot clock. Driving through. He'll shoot with pressure, and he'll put the game back to a tie. Less than 30 seconds remain. As here is Cabin Jean. Cabin Jean making a couple of moves in the paint now, and he will take the shooting foul after that attempt. So Landon Kane with a crucial bucket after the mid-range shot with pressure. Big credit to that young man, as he has been a great leader to bring his team to a tie game. 85-85, we are knotted with 17 seconds remaining. 2 crucial free throws here for Mardouche Cabin Jean. And the first one bounces out. So again, a crucial free throw here for Mardouche Cabin Jean. Motion's running high in this one. And that one is bounced through, and we will have a Cole Harbour timeout. 86-85 is your score with 17 seconds in regulation. It's going to be a wild ride to the finish, ladies and gentlemen, here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. We'll be back in just a few moments. William Powers back on here with you. Maritime Athletic Profiles, Basketball Tuesday, as the Cavaliers get set for their possession with 17.2 seconds remaining in regulation. Halifax West leads by 1 after the free throw made by Kevin Jean. So big pressure up high from Halifax West as Landon Kane was fouled. So they will have an inbound from the sideline. And Landon Kane says, hey, that's a foul that I should be shooting on, as the officials will huddle to discuss. If he does indeed get free throws, if he doesn't get free throws, it'll be extremely crucial. Looks like it'll be a hold call. And it doesn't look like Landon Kane will shoot. And the head coach of the Cavaliers is absolutely beside himself, as he doesn't understand why Landon Kane is shooting. I don't think Landon Kane even understands why he isn't shooting. And if I'm being realistic, for my limited knowledge of basketball, I am not sure why he's not shooting either. But nonetheless, 11.6 seconds remain in regulation. It doesn't get any tighter than this, as Halifax West were up by as much as 19 entering the second half. So this is going to be a wild ride to the finish, as Keon Fennessy will inbound. Here's the throw in. He'll get it to Landon Kane. Landon Kane picks up some moves. They will now run the clock as, oh my goodness, a big collision right at the arc. And it looks like that foul will come in favor of Cole Harbour. Landon Kane will shoot 2 on that one. So some crucial free throws will follow with 9.2 seconds remaining in regulation here from Cole Harbour High in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. As Landon Kane looking to pick up his 18th and 19th points of the evening, as that free throw falls out. So a tie is the best he's going to have to do here with 9.2 seconds remaining. Absolute crucial need to make free throw here for Landon Kane, as he gets that one to go. 9.2 seconds remain. Halifax West will take their final timeout and we are knotted at 86. An absolute wild ride to the finish. Glad for each of you to be joining us here on Maritime Athletic Profiles, as we'll just talk with you through this timeout, as we've seen quite the comeback here from Cole Harbour with some great plays deep in the paint, specifically from Landon Kane, who I mentioned earlier is now at 18 points. We have Keon Fennessy, who is at 19 points in his own right. And Ambrose Ingram, who is absolutely vital in the third quarter comeback. And he has 27 points, as he has the team lead. And as I said earlier, the fouls were really going to be a difference maker, and they certainly have been, as Landon Kane tied it with one of 2 free throws that he shot most recently, as time expires on the Halifax West timeout. And this will be all she wrote here as far as timeouts. It'll be 9.2 seconds remaining in regulation. I am not so familiar with this high school boys league, so I am unsure if we will get overtime should there be a tie. As they get it to Jalen Bear. Jalen Bear to Sierra. Sierra down low for Logan Clark, who was fouled on the way up. And that is not what you want if you're a Cole Harbour fan. With 4.3 seconds remaining in regulation, Logan Clark with an opportunity to break the tie. And that free throw will go. So 87-86, Logan Clark. Chance to make it a 2-point game here and make it that much difficult. And Cole Harbour will have a big sprint to the other end. And that one goes. Last timeout for Cole Harbour. I thought they had used their final timeout already, but I must have miscounted. So 4.3 seconds when we return with you here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. So here we are, 88-86 leads Halifax West. Cole Harbour has battled all the way back, and it all comes down to these last 4.3 seconds as they need 2 to tie it and send it to OT. It's inbounded by Iyer. Here's Fennessy from beyond the arc, and that will do it. A valiant effort from Cole Harbour as they will take the loss 88-86. Could have been much worse if they had not had that absolute valiant effort battling back from down 19. So in just a moment, we will talk to a couple of the players, one from each side, about this absolute insane and infatuating game. It was an absolute pleasure to call here in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. So we will be right back with you with our post-game interviews here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Be with you in just a sec.
Powers here with Maritime Athletic Profiles. We are post-game here in Cole Harbour. Ambrose Ingram, who had 27 points on the day, despite the result not being what you guys would have wanted. However, what was the mentality with battling back in that third quarter? What were you guys telling each other?
Well, we were struggling with the rebounds, so we were just on each other about getting them O-boards and defensive rebounds, and just shoot the ball. Shoot the ball as much as we could.
And shoot the ball you did. There was quite a bit of passing. Y'all really seemed a lot more coordinated coming into the second half. You were down by as much as 19, and you battled all the way back to within 3 by the end of the third quarter. Just take me through like some of those setups with coordinating those pass and shoots, those quick little plays. Like, do you think it was all team chemistry? Was it the communication? Like, what were you saying in the locker room before you came back out?
We weren't even talking about that. That's all team chemistry between us and our team. So
that's honestly great to hear. And despite the result, I'm sure there were several big positive takeaways from that. We'll end with a fun one, because after a big game like that, you got to eat big. What are you eating when you go home tonight?
Probably gonna have some ribs with some mashed potatoes and some cream corn.
Damn right. Have a good one. You have a good one.